Hello, and welcome to a tutorial on how to beat Sleepover 2. For the people who don't know what Sleepover, it's a geometry dash level inspired by the franchise of Five Nights at Freddy's by Scott Cawthon and remastered by Faustov, who made two levels. And today we will talk about the second opus of the series. In this level, compared to the first one, it features 7 animatronics compared to 9. Also, that doesn't mean that the first level is harder. It's quite the opposite actually. Those 7 monsters are very hard to manage, especially when being on line 3 and 4. But we talk about the 720 mode at the end for more detail and how to beat it, since it's also the hardest one, so more tips and tricks are needed. Okay, so now I'll explain the mechanics of the monsters in detail. First, we have Murnash. This animatronic is one of the most important monsters that you need to pay attention at, with Agony. We will talk about it later. Murnash is coming at your door after 4 phases. I'll show the phases here. By the way, that small shadow here means Murnash is not at your door yet. It's only once it leaves this part here that you need to check your door. After those 4 phases, on the 5th one, he reaches your door at the left, where you need to have your lights on and just check on the left side. And that's basically all. Then we have Agony. Probably the most annoying animatronic of the level. It has 2 phases. The normal one where it just doesn't do anything, and the second one where it starts to shake. While Agony is shaking, just put the camera on it so it calms down. Quick notes, most of the animatronics are not that hard to deal with. It's just patterns of multiple things that happens at the same time that will make everything really hard. Also, by being away from the camera, Agony's timer will start to go down, and after a certain point, it will start to agitate like crazy. If that timer arrives at 0, you're just dead. Then we have Withered. For the people who knows about the joy of creation, it's the same mechanic as Bonnie in the living room. Withered have 3 phases, and on the third one, you need to hide in the closet and wait until it goes on. Technically, you can just spam the button to go outside of the closet. It won't allow you until the animation is over. Be careful, staying too much outside while he's on the third phase will make Wither double check on the closet. Not killing you, but waste your precious time. You can install the animatronic by staying on the camera so it doesn't go on its next phase, which means it's locked where it is right now. This will be important later on. You can also do that on Murnash, but only on a certain condition. We will talk about that later too on the tip and tricks. Okay, the next one is probably the less threatening, but can still be a problem, and it's Umbrat. This one will randomly appear when arriving or changing cameras. You need to act fast to not get killed. That's it. Now we will speak about one of the animatronics that just destroyed me mentally, and it's Pumpkin. This one will just trigger you at a certain point. It's actually 2 in 1. First, you need to have the lights off at any point every hour, not at 1 AM. If it's on, you're just dead. The second one is the inputs. When opening the cameras, you will have 5 inputs randomly generated to do for a certain amount of time before dying to Pumpkin. Missing 1 input can cost you the night, especially when being at 5 AM. That's impossible, bro! The crash out is very near when you're actually that far and just missing an input. And for the last one, the spider. At 3 AM and 15, the spider will appear and you will need to find what it is by checking every cameras and staying on it until it goes off. It's almost the same mechanic as Agony to calm it down, but for spider, it's multiple times. Then you need to redo that every single time until it actually leaves the cameras forever. Okay, so the first tip, I will do night by night actually. For the first tip, you can install 2 animatronics in this game, which are Murnash and Withered. under certain conditions, like I said earlier. For Murnash, it's only on the first phase, where his eyes are in the middle of Cam 2, so where actually Murnash spawns for the first time. Once it's past this phase, you can't stall him anymore, compared to Withered. For Withered, as long as you're on Camp 5, like the basement, Withered cannot progress at all. So if you just stay here for the rest of the night, it will never appear. For the next tip, always be on Agony's camera. This is gonna help you move your cam very fast to know where Agony is. Because starting from night 3 and 4, it's gonna be really hard with the pumpkin inputs to count Agony, especially if it's agitated. So get used to it from now and stay on it every time. And don't worry about Withered and Murnash, since they have a Q sound. I'll play it for you so that you can hear what it looks like for Murnash. And for Withered, it's 3 growls, and you go to the closet. So you don't need really to pay attention to them. The perfect thing that can happen to you in the beginning of a night is that Agony is at Camp 5. Because while looking at it, Withered can't come to it. So you're doing 2 things at once. Delaying Withered and watching Agony. Just care about the footstep of a Murnash that looks like some skeleton moving. And you're kind of free to do the first night that easily. So it shouldn't be that hard. Starting from night 3, you should actually get used to look at the time. I know it sounds stupid, but trust me, you don't want to die by a pumpkin when it passes an hour, especially when you want to get rid of Murnash at the door. It happened to me so many times that I was obliged to include it here. Check the time pretty often, please. You don't want to crash out while just checking on Murnash and a pumpkin is jumping on you. Trust. Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of these games. This time it's actually true. It features Murnash, Agony, and Withered. The main goal is to get used to the footsteps and growls. The phases are only, in my opinion, to know what to do in case you forgot who is where. Let's take an example. You forgot which phase actually Withered is while actually looking at Agony. You can just take off your camera of Agony to check where it is Withered, and while you're at, you can also check on Murnash. So this is like the only ways to actually move your camera from Agony. On night 4, after the spider, it's gonna get really, really hard to move your camera out of Agony without him being agitated. So be careful. For the second night, this time Umbrat is getting added. It's not a big deal. You just do what you were used to do in the first night. It's getting just a bit faster, but don't forget to check on the time, even though you're not on 9.3 with Pumpkin and the lights, etc. Just get used to look at the time and focus on the footsteps and the growls. That's all that matters for the 2 first nights. Okay, so this is where the things are getting problematic. This night it will add Shadow and Pumpkin. So not only you will have to get the lights almost off every time because of Pumpkin, which actually makes Murnash come faster to the door. If you look at this text, it also says if the lights are off, Murnash would just come faster. But also you need to pay attention to the ducts, like I said earlier. To get rid of Shadow, Shadow will most likely appear once every hour. The goal here is almost to try to sync phase 2 of Withered, which is this one, while being on Agonist's camera. and doing Monash door right before going in the closet. It's a lot of information, but basically, while being on Agony's camera, what you need to do is just look on the left with your lights on to get off Monash, then close the lights and go in the closet because Withered will come and check you. Agony will probably kill you because leaving it alone for a long time means it's agitated for a while, especially when going into the closet. So don't forget to almost like 95% of the time being on Agony's camera. The rest is to do shadow ducts or to know who is where if you forgot the phases. If you can't find Agony on any cameras, you can just restart if you're just dead. Okay, so now we are at the end of the level. Well, at least if you're not doing 720. In this night, I will give my main pathing that I do for the beginning. Then you can adapt based on your run, of course. Like I said in night 3, everything is going to be a bit faster. So the things that you were doing before might not work here. Being fast and stall agony is key. Okay, let's start about the pathing. First, you will let the lights on, then check the cameras to find agony. You will have a pumpkin input most likely 1.5 seconds after opening the cameras. So you have time to see where agony is. Then around 12 am and 30 minutes, or 32, it actually depends, turn off the lights to find shadow in the duct. Keep the lights off for almost all the night, starting from now. Now, Murnash will speed run his way to the door every time, and you can't do anything about it. Since if you open the lights and check the cameras, you will get pumpkined a lot of times. So just keep them off unless Murnash is here. If you did install Agony at the cam where Withered is supposed to be, which is cam 5, around 1:05, it will do his third roll. So go into the closet immediately. Most likely, and I'm saying most likely, you won't need to check for Murnash while going off the closet. Like just opening the lights and checking on the left. Most likely Murnash is not that fast at this current time, so you won't need to do that. But still, sometimes your instinct might just tell you, oh, it's been quite a while since I didn't check on Murnash. I need to do it. Also, note that almost every time Umbrot will come at the camera where you are when entering the cameras. So do left or right instantly to avoid it. Plus, the cam where you were before while watching Agony is probably empty because Agony moved. So you move, plus you get rid of Umbrath, and you have more chances to find Agony by skipping a camera before the input of Pumpkin appears. Now recheck the ducts after calming or not Agony if you did that. Then do that until 3 a.m. and 15 seconds. No, 3 a.m. and 15 minutes for the spider actually. You just need to react fast. I recommend going slower than you think to be able to hear the sound and go back a camera before, instead of just spamming and not knowing exactly where it was. And for the last 2 hours and a half, you just need to continue like you were doing before. Most likely, if you were able to get to Spider, you can do the rest of the night, because you understand the cycles. Also, quick note, sometimes you need to break the calming down of Agony to do Murnash, especially after 5 am, because Murnash is going insanely fast. This guy is just Max Verstappen prime. So calming down Agony like 0.8 seconds, not fully. If you can doing it fully, if you feel confident, you can do it. But sometimes you just need to break it. And you will need to do only shadow once at 5 am. And you can almost not care about it, unless if you feel like checking the ducts. But I would not recommend it. At least for me, that's what I did. And I never died to shadow after the spider. Okay, so Now I will just straightforward just talk without any cuts, most likely, about how I actually did 720. So when the night starts, you let the lights on. Then you just check those four cameras right here. So one for the basement, the dining room, which is cam 6, 1 and 2. This is the only spots where agony is. The two others are the ducts for shadow. So you don't need to care. That's why I'm doing like a complete circle to see here where is agony. I'm actually doing it 3 times because I don't want to stall. Um, I don't want to stall Murnash here. I want him like to go on his current state, which is arriving at 12:47 exactly. So here I found agony, so I just started. Then I will have the pumpkin inputs. Then around 12:30, I will cut off the lights to actually get off shadow from the ducts. So that's one. I return on agony to the inputs. Then at 2:47, most likely, here I actually missed it, but it's fine. When you miss, you just need to wait like a second before rechecking. That's how the game actually works. It doesn't mean that Murnash is not here yet. It's just that you need to wait a bit. So here, for example, we have like the perfect thing that can actually happen. Like the best thing. It's actually watching agony while having withered in front of you. That just means that you only need to care about Murnash. So here I'm just like not doing anything except the inputs. I will maybe put the sound actually. It would be maybe better. I could say 30. So yeah, I hear the footsteps. I'll just check on it. Shadow is in the ducts. It moved, so you go into the closets. Keep in mind that I almost stay like 95% of the time on Agony's face. So here Murnash was on the left side directly. So as you can see, Agony is like getting agitated pretty fast. Footsteps. I forgot about this one. So yeah, Shadow can still appear on your left shoulder, as you can see here. You just need like to turn around and recheck. Footsteps. So here, what actually happened is I was scared that I actually opened the lights at 3 a.m. So I thought I was dead. But it was like actually frame perfect, I think, with the to actually get rid of Murnash. Which is why I actually stopped right here for a while. I was like, damn, did I survive? Then this is like the spider attempt. So in 720, it's most likely you will have 17 spider. Like you need to find it 17 times. I actually counted earlier. That's why it's actually so long. So here, as you can see in my cycles, I'm actually doing like just a full one because I know if it's not here and not here and not here, it will be here. So I'm just stopping directly. I'm not doing like a full loop. You don't need. And if you just keep continuing and it was like on, let's say, cam 4, while you were on cam 5, you just like turn back once. That's all. Okay, so now that has been done. Here is like the only time where you actually recheck on everyone. Like you don't check agony, you check well, which phase withered is and where is uh, Murnash and if Shadow is here too. So once you've passed the cycle after the spider, it's like a go attempt. You're most likely at the end. So here's Shadow. You can hear the other one. So here I actually heard a withered move. The thing is that I'm still stalling Agony because I need to check on what is it called? Murnash on the left side. That's why I'm still staying on it. It's really important to not leave Agony for a long time. So that's why I'm still keep on it. Plus, it will be 4 a.m. soon, so I need to stay on the cams. Since Bonnie is here, I need to recheck. So here, I don't know if you noticed, but I knew it will double check since I took too much time to go into the closet. So here it double checks. Then I know when I will go out, open the lights, recheck on Murnash instantly. Then recheck Agony. And as you can see, Agony is shaking. Then it's the ducts. Yes. So that's the first phase. I don't need to check on withered because I know it's the first phase. So it's moving. You saw the shadow actually moving from this place. I paused it, but you can most likely see it. So here I finished the agonies move. Then I'm checking on Murnash. And of course it was the third growl, so you need to go into the closet. Because it's 5 a.m., the monsters are actually going even faster. So I know instantly that after going out of the closet, I need to check on the left directly. Agon is probably moving, yeah. So here, for example, let's say I was like down here while searching for agony. I would have been dead because I would have to get the inputs plus redo everything here to calm agony. By the time I'm actually calming agony, Monash is here. So it's really important to be really, really fast to know where agony is. See, I just changed the camera once and agony is already shaking. It's really important to look. He's gonna shake again. See? Okay, so look carefully. I will just leave the cams just for Murnash. And it's already shaking. So that's why I'm telling you like to not keep your camera off agony while doing. Oh yeah, actually no. You know what? Maybe shadow. You need to care a bit more about it because it might be 720, but probably on night 4 you don't need to check it 2 or 3 times. 720 is actually longer. Like 5 a.m. is actually longer than the normal pace of the night. And here, this is the last thing, and you just beat the level. I won't put my reaction. Go watch the video if you want it. But yeah, that's most likely everything you need to know about 720. It's like a small commentary. If you have any questions regarding something that I might have missed, I will answer it in the comments. And yeah, that's basically everything. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for maybe a completion of hooking up with Custy. That might be the next one that I'm doing. See ya.